Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? The original play that I've learned from children and animals is an inherent and universal code of kindness. It allows us to connect with other people and animals in ways to enhance a sense of belonging, love, kindness, compassion. And it replaces the reflex of fear that so often accompanies human interactions. We certainly are. My experience is that we're missing it all over the world, that our initial responses to each other tend to be based on fear.
Yeah.
And when results of fear-based interaction tend to be aggression and victimization. Well, humans have tried for thousands of years to talk their way out of these problems, but it doesn't seem to work. And we haven't taken the advice of very wise people in human history, like Gandhi, Jesus, and Buddha, who said, go to the children. We don't take that seriously.
Yeah.
I did, and found that those wise people were correct, that children have a way of interacting that doesn't rely on speech, doesn't rely on knowing each other's verbal language, but is a more direct physiological language that communicates the qualities that we're searching for of love and belonging and trust, and does without talking. It's actually the same process. It involves being still, being quiet, paying attention, and not doing your own thing. Most of the times when humans interact with each other or with animals, we try to get the animal or the human to do what we want.
Yeah.
In original play, we don't do that. We let go of what it is I want and allow the other being, whether it's a human or an animal, to approach on their terms. Well, I think it's happening because we're afraid. Adults are afraid of kids, and they're afraid of touch, because they're afraid that they'll be accused by other adults of harassment, of abuse, and so on. So the result is adults don't touch, as if we have this kind of strange idea that no touch teaches good touch.
Yeah.
And no touch does not teach good touch. And since the whole point of original play is to touch to meet the needs of the person being touched, it contradicts or works against processes called harassment and abuse. If you've never touched people, or you only touch during the cultural processes like shaking hands, then by the time you get to be middle age, 30 or 40, you don't know how to touch anybody.
Yeah.
And you're afraid. And when you touch out of fear, the other person feels your fear and they get upset. So what happens is you have fearful adults touching fearful adults.
Yeah.
And that creates the world we have.
Mm.
Cultural play is what we've learned as adults. It's the games, the sports, the activities that adults play and pass on to children and tell them this is play. In America, as a boy growing up, I was told that football, baseball, hockey, that's play. So I learned what the culture tells me to learn. So I learned how to do those sports. And in those sports, there's aggression and violence. So I learned that. And I was told that that's play. Being violent is part of cultural play. But what I learned from kids that I call original play doesn't come from culture. It comes from our origins. It comes from creation, God. And that is a process of kindness, has no aggression in it. And it doesn't depend on knowing a culture, knowing a language, knowing how to move. It doesn't, everyone can do it. There are no exclusionary processes in original play. No such thing as girls can't play.
Yeah.
Very simple exercises, and the exercises involve touch. But it's important with adults that you start slowly, and they're very simple. And they progress through more complex kinds of exercises to allow people to feel, essentially all the time, to feel the difference between being a victim and an aggressor and having a different choice. And most people never assumed or never knew they had a choice. Gang members don't believe they have a choice, so they fight. Leaders of countries don't believe they have a choice, so they fight. This is about having a person feel, oh, wow, I have a choice.